The world is huge. Similarly, Sonic Unleashed is the largest and most immersive Sonic game to date. Yes, even beating Frontiers despite having the same task and less development time. Yet another Sonic Frontiers L. But going back to the Earth, if you didn't somehow know already, the way Sonic Unleashed achieves so much variety in levels and gimmicks is by reflecting real-life locations. So let's discuss every Sonic Unleashed country the player visits and their real-life counterparts. Apotos are possibly the home to the third most iconic opening levels in Sonic history. And you probably thought Apotos is easy. Oh, it's Greece. The flag, the music, and the amount of coastal areas. But what if I told you Apotos is shockingly more of lands with an African country? Just kidding, I was lying. While writing this, there was a part of me that really wanted to blow your socks off and say Apotos. This is actually the Islamic country of Morocco. But after further inspection, the windmill game is unmatched, so sadly no. However, they are somewhat similar in this city, so at least you still got to learn easily the best and most diverse country in all of Africa. Next up, let's head to Shamar. This one is most likely one you didn't expect. At first glance, you probably saw sand and went, oh, Egypt! But no, this is most definitely Jordan, which is all the way up here on the map. Sonic News Network would tell you, oh, it's a combination of Iran, Iraq, any Muslim country. The only case to be made here is that this is actually Qatar because of the street culture, but even then, not only do you have to be talking about the old city, not the one with the perfect skyline, but also this is literally the same flag, and at the daytime levels finish line, this is literally Jordan's Petra, one of the world's 7 wonders. Also, the Egyptian pyramids aren't one of the 7 wonders of the world. That's a misconception a lot of people make. Speaking of the level, an important part of the level design's identity is that there's broken pillars, falling pillars, rows of pillars, and compared to any other country, Jordan has all that by a landslide. So, bada boom. By the way, fun fact, in Shamar you can buy stretchy ice cream, which actually exists in real life. It's not from Jordan, but it is a Turkish ice cream which somehow never melts. Long live the Ottoman Empire! Hyderabad. This one is definitely one of the harder ones to pinpoint. I mean, by the flag it seems like Thailand, but by the place it's a lot harder than that. Hyderabad is a country with a lot of trees, a lot of sand, and a lot of water. Do you know how many places that can be? You have the Bahamas, Hawaii, the entire continent of Oceania. Yes, I called Oceania, not Australia. Let's narrow this down with some characteristics. 1, in Hyderabad, there's a lot of islands. 2, there are these giant rock icebergs. And 3, the houses have a very distinct design that you don't see every day. After researching, this pointy house style has a name and a wiki article, Tongkonan. And what's important about it is that it's dominantly found in traditional Indonesia, a country that checks a surprising amount of boxes. Indonesia has a beautiful amount of forests, water, rock icebergs, as well as already mentioned these houses. Additionally, looking at a map, Indonesia has an unfathomable amount of islands, is huge like on this globe depicting out of that, and somehow has super similar stone temples scattered in its nature. Chunnan. Do I even have to? You and I both already know it. Let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. China. No questions asked. However, here's a fun fact. In everyday level of Chunnan, Sonic runs on the Great Wall of China, which is surprisingly long. 6 times the diameter of the moon. To be exact, if Eggman actually scattered badniks across the entire wall, that means Sonic would have to run the equivalent of a little over 2 laps around the moon to clear this all, which really shows the size of this wall. You ever wonder, what's Empire City's counterpart? If you said no, good, it's obvious. USA is the most skyscraper-dense country on the planet. If you want to know what city this is supposed to be, it's not like it's Seattle or Chicago or something like that. It's just New York City. If you're American, you should know one of New York City's nicknames is literally the Empire City, and in the game data, you'll find that NYC City was the original placeholder name for this area. Now let's get to something more challenging. Missouri. This is kind of difficult because not only is African geography hard, but also this is the most inconsistent spot in this video. At first you're like, oh, this fortress is just a giant version of a famous mosque in Malai, but then you wait until night until you see zebras. What? For reference, here's a map of zebras in Africa, and here's where Malai is. Then there's the other thing in the PS2 version. Look at the floor. Why is there Egyptian stuff? Putting that aside, I don't know if Sonic Team went to Africa or what, because in the game, there's elephants, and by some miracle, the only spot in Malai with elephants just so happens to be this same area where Malai's mosque is. So, accident or not, good job, Sonic Team. You got that impressively spot on. Spagonia is home to the most iconic and best Sonic Boost level of all time. This is helped by the fact that the place has so much personality. But where is it on our Earth? It's actually Croatia. Well, kinda. See, Rooftop Run's most recognizable feature has to be the orange clustered roofs, right? Not to say other European countries don't have this architecture, but Croatia loves terracotta roofs. And in fact, the Romans first introduced this style to modern-day Croatia. It's basically the hearth. However, everything about what we exactly think Spagonia is in real life starts to change when we look at the little things. Spagonia University is just a remodeled Pantheon. Enter Italy. According to the game, Spagonia is valued for being a center of art. This is Florence, where Da Vinci, Donatello, and other artists spent their time because it is quite literally the birthplace of the Renaissance. However, despite the roof colors, compared to Croatia, the streets here don't look as familiar to Spagonia today. It's missing vines, arches over passageways, and cobblestone streets. We're looking for something a little more traditional. Zoom out of Tuscany and you'll find the neighboring region, Umbria, which, while isn't as large, orange, or historically significant, it does have the vines, arches, and cobblestone streets. Additionally, it also gets the gates, steep slopes, and a forest hill background, all unlike Croatia, which would be perfect if their shingles weren't brown. Therefore, this is a split between two countries. If not for the clock tower, it has the shape of London clock tower, the style of Warsaw's clock tower, and the hot air balloons of Cappadocia's festivals. Oh my god. In other words, this is the most all-over-the-place country in Sonic Unleashed. Kinda funny. I mean, when you go to Spagonia, you're like, oh my god, this has to be a real place. But it isn't. So you can either take this as Sonic Unleashed is wonderful at immersion, or improved Europe. Regardless, this is another reason why Sonic Unleashed is the best Sonic title to release. Quick side note, while researching for this video, I came across Sonic News Network's opinion on the topic, and they say Spagonia is a combination of course, the country Spain, and Patagonia, a region in South America. They don't even have a source for this, they just be lying for fun. So here's what actually makes sense for what inspired the name Spagonia. It's a play on Spain, Segovia, Spagonia. By the way, Segovia is a city in Spain that has the same art as Unleashed uses in the hub and levels, but the point is, everyone working at Sonic News Network is a bunch of retards. Last but not least, Haloska. It's easy to think this is super far in Antarctica, but then you realize nobody lives in Antarctica besides dying polar bears. So it's gotta either be Canada, which no one lives in, the US state of Alaska, Greenland, or Norway. Now, despite the name similarity again, nobody in Alaska lives in igloos, meaning this either gotta be Norway or Greenland. Both places have a lot of people living in igloos, a lot of islands, but what stands between the two is ice. And unfortunately for Norway, the place with the most icebergs and ice sheets goes to Denmark's autonomous territory of Greenland. So there you have it. Every Sonic Unleashed location translated to their real life counter. What do you mean I missed one? What did I skip? Oh, well, going off the flag, the color palette is really similar to I think it's just better if I am